guys, welcome back to Earth It. Hope all of you are safe and healthy. So today I'm gonna share with you a very important tip, a beautiful fertilizer that's going to help our flowering plants flower better, fruiting plants bloom better, and is going to give the plants a good strength to absorb any type of nutrient or any source of nutrient that we provide. But that is very important, that no matter what type of fertilizer we give, no matter what type of manure we give, sometimes our plants fail to observe them and sometimes they fail to reflect that in their growth. So this particular fertilizer that I'm going to mention right now is going to help the plants grow better, absorb any type of nutrients that we give in a very better manner. So for the first condition for this would be, deeper the pot, the better it is. So if you're going to have a flowering plant or a fruiting plant, it's better to go for a deeper pot. That way the source of the soil or source of manure, nutrients, whatever we give is going to go well to the roots, and the roots are going to have the freedom to move well and they're going to grow so well, reflecting in a very healthier plant growth. This particular custard apple plant is just 2 years old and it grew from a seed. It's not a store-bought or grafted plant. It grew from a seed and it already started fruiting because of the fertilizer that we gave. In the recent days, at least, this fruit started coming well. If you've seen my earlier video, I would have showed the flowers that just bloomed well off this custard apple plant. The chili plants grew well. We kind of experimented it with very few plants and the success was extremely good in this particular selected plant. So I'm really happy to share this fertilizer with you. And another important tip is, if you're planning to graft them or if you're planning to propagate new plants, then use this fertilizer, because this will give the plants the disease resistance, the strength to grow well, the strength to develop roots better. It also helped in curing the leaf curls and discoloration of these types of flowers that we have. If you could notice, there are a good amount of leaf curls, but it was pretty bad earlier, but now it has started to reduce and there is a very good growth in this particular plant. So just like how phosphorus is important for the flowering or blooming of a plant, calcium is very important for every plant. The role of calcium is to absorb the nutrients through the roots. So when the roots are not having the caliber to absorb any type of nutrients that we give, that is when our plants fail to flower or bloom. But if we are going to induce this particular property in the roots, which is to help absorb every nutrient, then that way our plants are going to reflect in a better growth. So for that, we will be using fresh beetle leaves. If you have fresh beetle leaves, then that's the best medicine. But if you do not have fresh beetle leaves, it's okay. You can use store-bought, but it will take a good amount of time for it to show the power. We used fresh beetle leaves and we need to check the dorsal side of the beetle leaves to check if there are any insects or any type of settlements at the dorsal side. We need to take fresh, the light green beetle leaves rather than the darker ones, and we're going to grind it into a paste. What we do is we use a combination of dried beetle leaves and fresh beetle leaves, because since it's homegrown, it definitely has the value of it. We're going to add it to almost 400 to 500 ml of water. So we also will add cinnamon powder to it. Cinnamon is going to get a good root growth, and this source of calcium is going to go through the roots and help them absorb better. So the next thing is, we need to do this in the night time, like the evening times, or we can also do it in the early mornings, but there should be a gap of almost 2 to 3 hours after watering. We should not water the plants when we are using this particular solution. We need to have 2 to 3 hours of gap, and only after that we'll water, because that way the essence will not drain off. The essence will be absorbed by the roots better. So just remember this particular point. And the next thing is, we can do it every alternative day, or we can do it twice in a week. That is more than enough for these types of beautiful plants. The next thing is, along with this, we'll also feed the plants with good amount of compost. Fresh compost is good. Old compost is also fine. With a lot of manures like cow dung manures, goat manures will also do. So this way there is a balanced source, and this will help revive even the worst condition in the plant. So this plant was in a very bad condition. If you could see the dried leaves, we kind of tried to recover the plants and hold the plant with one single branch. We started giving this fertilizer and we did see immense growth. This custard apple plant just growing from a seed and it's already started fruiting well, and that's the strength of this particular fertilizer or the manure that we give. So it's really nice and satisfying to use a lot of organic fertilizers and manures in our garden. Hope this video was useful. Meet you guys in the next video. Until then, namaste.